And you guys also talked to the safeties. Caleb Downs, of course, a lot of Buckeye fans are so anxious to see him play. Didn't necessarily watch Alabama play last year to see how great he was, except for maybe a Rose Bowl that most Buckeye fans watched. Is he more, and I should be able to state this myself after watching Alabama as much as I do, but I can't say that I was really focused on Caleb Downs. Is he more Steve Atwater, like bring the wood, like bone crusher guy back there? Or I can't think of the Bengals safety at the same time that was just
Fulcher.
Yes, David Fulcher. Thank you. Number 33. Number 33.
He was a stud.
Yes.
Is he at Arizona State? Is that where he came from?
David Fulcher. That sounds right. Steve Atwater, Arkansas. But anyway, I digress. Or more of the, I think I've got my answer, maybe somewhere in the middle, Troy Polamalu, who seemed to be the bone crusher and the ball hawk at the same time type, but just in regards to his style, because he's coming in with a huge reputation.
I'll go with two Ohio State guys just for familiarity. The combination of Jordan Fuller and Dante Whitner. In terms of Jordan Fuller was the ultimate security guy, never missed a tackle, was back there, could be that last line of defense. Dante Whitner was a guy blowing up screens, getting into the backfield, really good tackler. And as Matt Guerrieri said yesterday, Dante Whitner, Caleb Downs can do all of that. He can be your center fielder. He can cover and man. He's great in zone. He can come up and be an extra linebacker against the run. He can blitz. So I think it's hard to just, he's one guy. I think he's several guys. And I think I'll go with Jordan Fuller and Dante Whitner as a combo there, just to give Buckeye fans some guys that they know. And the thing is, Caleb Downs isn't necessarily, he's not Malik Hooker necessarily. He's this flashy guy. I think he had 2 interceptions last year. But he's around the ball. He's safe. He's secure. And if they want him to make plays, he will. He had 40 more tackles than anybody else on the Alabama defense this year. I'm not expecting that to happen this year. I think his numbers are going to go down, and people might be like, hey, what's wrong with Caleb Downs? And it's just like he doesn't need to have 107 tackles this year, and the next guy has 67. I think the defense will be a little bit more complete. And I am interested to see how busy he is, and if he is leading the Buckeyes in tackles. Is that a good thing or is that a concern?
Yeah, you brought up a great one there with Malik Hooker. He may be one of the best, if not the best, that I can recall. Of course, people also talk about Mike Doss years ago, kind of revolutionizing and changing that position within the Ohio State defense with everything he was able to do. Interceptions have got to be a big part of this defense, and I want to see more of that, but also to have safeties and even the corner. I did a story yesterday on Davison Igbinosun, the cornerback who, kind of languishes in the anonymity because Denzel Burke's on the other side, and he gets all the, the credit and all American honors. And Igbinosun, all he did was number 3 on the team in tackles last year because he wasn't afraid to come up as a run support player when the pass call was off. He was filling the lane and getting up there and cracking guys in the alley and making sure that those 7-yard gains only ended up as 2 and 3 yard gains. So that's a big part of your defense when your secondary can support. And I think the secondary is going to be perhaps one of the best this team's ever had. Potentially, I want to see it come together, obviously, but when you have preseason All-Americans like Downs and Burke, those are the guys that you build around. Then you think you've got, talent and experience at the other 3 spots. Igbinosun, a 2-year starter, one at Ole Miss and one at Ohio State. Hancock started the last half of last season. Ransom started basically the equivalent of 2 seasons. So, put it on the field. Let's see what happens. And, as I said, Malik Hartford, I sat down with him at the foundation fundraiser about a month ago, and he's got more personality than 10 people. I mean, he's a guy that you really want to get to know and have be part of your team. That's what I found talking to him. So you got a lot of these type guys, and these are people that you can win with. Is my feeling. So I'm pretty excited about it. You referenced Palomalu, and I want to share the opposite of a bad beat story. The Steelers were playing somebody, and I had the over, and it was not looking good. And I'm in the basement of my buddy's house, and his wife and his sister-in-law are two of the biggest Steelers fans in the world. And so they cheer on every play for the Steelers. Well, Troy Polamalu picks off this pass at about the -40, and he's headed the other way with about 3 minutes to go in this game. And I'm the loudest voice in the room yelling, "Go, go, go!" Trying to will those points to get that over. And my man brought it home. So there you go. That was the opposite of a bad beat. That was a good win, or what a backdoor. That was a backdoor is what that was.
Backdoor cover. There we go.
Cover. Was it a cover? Yes, it was.
Well,
then it was a good cover.
Yes.
There's no such thing as a bad cover.
I'm going to have to start to figure out such things this Saturday with Florida State and Georgia Tech. And
what's the line? What's the line on that?
11.5, I believe.
And people are talking like they think Georgia Tech could be, maybe not a contender for playoff, but top half of the ACC this year, and could give. We don't know. Florida State's got Uiagalelei. Somebody pronounce it.
Uiagalelei.
Yeah, he's there on his fifth stop as the quarterback, and how is that going to look? Was there anybody who skipped the bowl game for Florida State who's back on the team this year? I mean, that's kind of an interesting dynamic. Or did everybody leave?
I think everybody's gone.
Yeah,
everybody's pretty much gone.
Yes,
because the guys that played in that bowl game, there wasn't much there. So
I've got Florida State and Georgia Tech on behind me. I couldn't put them in Ireland, but I did put them in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, which is as close as we can get to Ireland. And
I was wondering why you had a blue turf field back there.
It's a 14-0 Florida State in the first quarter. So hopefully this gets better.
Okay. The new game doesn't major on geography. Apparently, that's as close as we could get to Ireland.
They didn't want to send somebody over there to do the mapping of the stadium. It's just a bunch of lazy politics.
Yeah, 31-17. That's going to be my score on that. Florida State.
Okay. So Florida State covers.
Maybe gets a field goal in the last 2 minutes to put it wide.
College football is even more exciting with some action on the line. And the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Let's start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread. I've got a 40-year track record. In fact, in 2023, at $100 played per game, you would have netted over $9,300. And guess what? I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill, our ace in the hole, show stopper from Wager Talk. 6 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick, which went 21-5 against the spread the last 2 seasons. I repeat, 21-5 against the spread. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Steve Dace and Matt Zemek. Become a YouTube channel member or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2024 a winner now.